Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to today's service, of course I'll be taking you through what we call online safety for teachers. Wherefore, teachers, we know very much well that they work hand in glove with the learners, of course. So my name is Khutazo Inoue. I'm from AfricaKidsCode. And then the internet, one thing for sure which we know about is that it's the powerful tool, of course. It's the powerful tool which we can do so many things online. So to start off today, we're going to have some fun and then find out how you would like to use the internet. There are some few rules which of course we ought to set. If ever there is anything that which you need clarity on, please kindly comment on the comment box. And then if you feel like you are not being attended to, you may comment again, we'll be able to see it. There are my colleagues whom of course are with me unto this of course online learning. And then they will be assisting you. So there are several things which we first we need to take into consideration. And then that which I need to ask you, do you use internet to chat with your friends? Do you further use the internet to do your homework? Do you use the internet to share photos of yourself and family? Do you use internet to share funny photos and videos? So remember, all these questions I am asking you. I'm asking you as in having to put you into the shoes of your learners. You as being a teacher, of course, you need to as well in a way be attending this workshop, hoping to be teaching your learners, of course, as of how to be safer online. So there are about 4 of the bad guys whom we need to look very carefully into. Because with great power comes great responsibility. And then in the world of internet, there are some dangers. If we want to continue our awesome adventure through the world of the internet, we must learn to be safe online. There are what we call oversharers. There are what we call hackers. There are what we call phishers. And lastly, there are what we call troublemakers. So throughout this workshop, you will be learning about 5, of course, badges to become a hero. In every topic which we will be tackling through, we'll be in a way collecting all these badges you see here. There is a badge called Be Sharp. There is a badge called Being Strong. There is a badge called Being Alert. There is a badge called Kind, and there is a badge called Brave. If ever we are to abbreviate all these badges together, you will realize that it is SSAKB. Sharp, Strong, Alert, Kind, and Brave. To qualify as a true hero of the internet, you must, in a way, ensure that you understand all of what these badges stand for. So, without having to bore you, we'll be starting with Being Sharp. Being sharp, we are saying that you must share with care. When we say you must share with care, most definitely is that people are reckless on the internet. They just share as they wish. They do not, in a way, filter the contents they are sharing. They do not choose the type of the content they are sharing. They are just sharing such that they end up falling prey of these the threat makers. falling prey of these hackers, falling prey of these fishers. So we need to be very much cautious when we are on the internet. So from this screen, what you realize is that most people are just regular sharers. The internet, of course, connects us and allows us to share in ways we have never been able to. We can reach friends near and far with just a single click. So, guys, in internet, we get to bump with many celebrities. We get to bump with many people whom, of course, some of them are our role models, while some of them, of course, we just despise. But there is this particular guy whom I think like majority of us, of course, love him. So raise your hands if you have seen this picture before. So if ever you have seen it, I suppose you already know his name. We call him Salt Bay, of which is just a video of a man preparing a barbecue piece of meat. So this guy will really make you to love the foods, of course, that which they are being prepared by him, because on almost everything he does, of course, on those dishes, it is a language on its own. If ever, of course, you do not know Salt Bay, there's a lot of people whom, of course, have been trending. The likes of Master KG, the likes of Makazi, the likes of Show Majosi, the likes of Katlego Mabuwe. Just that internet, of course, it can expose us in many ways, either bad or good. So now that most of us has seen, of course, the video of the Salt Bay, of which, of course, it has over 6 million views. As from the 3rd of June 2019, it has been remade, of course, viral over the web. You will realize that most of the people, the likes of Rihanna, whom printed, of course, the shirts, of course, of the Salt Bay. And then there are also some people whom, of course, they have printed the picture of the Salt Bay on their marks. And then there are just those ones, those meme guys whom, of course, they just want to be copying almost everything, the TikTokers. So you can see the guy there is trying to copycat the Salt Bay. That is the fun of the internet. It's either it makes you or it breaks you. So have you seen this video? Most of us know this guy, of course, called Mak Angelo Comedy. If ever you are not familiar with, just ask your kids about the kid called Emanuela. This guy, he is an uncle to whom we call Emanuela on these videos. Almost all of his videos, of course, they've got absolutely more than 20 million views. Majority of his videos. He is very fun. He features the likes of the kids called Emanuela and then Andy Success. So we all know of the guy. Just like the way we know Bonuku Mashawa here in Mzanzi, Bolimpopo, Wo Mashavela Galani, Wo Trevor Noah, stuff related. So these are the guys whom some of us just go to the internet to watch them. So secondly, they are what we call oversharers. So the oversharers, remember, these guys pose the possible dangers such as they share too much info online about you and your friends. They compromise your security. So you never know, of course, who of your followers could be what we like to call. These are what we call oversharers, as I've told you. You know whom I'm talking about, the one whom loves to spread information about others, whether mean-spirited or well-intended. I'm sure that at some point you have either seen or heard about a picture or post that got out of hand because of a screenshot or oversharing. Like I've just shared to you recently about Katlego Mabuwe, the guy whom, of course, his video was trending, and then he even had to confess, of course, of which this video already tampered with his employment status. But luckily, Twitter guys, of course, backed him up. So for you to avoid most of the things, you need to understand the importance, of course, of who you share particular information with. Having to share a real life story that depicts the negative consequences of oversharing online, it is very a mean way of, in a way, interacting on the social media or on the internet. Take, for example, of course, this conversation. And then ask a students to identify what went wrong in this example. You will realize that we have about two students, of course, whom are communicating there. First one is whom we call Chibobit. She says that, I hate my teacher. While Remy Ayiro says, yo, me too. So the funny enough, you will realize that their teacher side, the Gawina, is also there. He says that, you do realize we are friends online, right? So in a nutshell, what this, of course, conversation tells us is that the internet is so very much full of many stories of people who shared information that which, of course, they shouldn't have shared, and then got caught by their bosses or teachers or friends, of which, of course, tampered with their employment or schools, or in actual fact, everything that which, of course, they had that had a positive value. So once you share information online, you need to recall that it is there like forever. Just like in the real world, you share different things with different people. For example, while you may invite friends and family into your home, it does not mean that you allow them to go into your room and poke around at all your personal stuff. The web is the very same way. You want to be sure that friends, family, and strangers only see the stuff you want them to see. It is good idea to have a look at what you are sharing through what we call share setting, and talk with trusted adult about what information you want to give the world access to. So recall that settings are awesome because they allow you to control who sees what you is on your page or what you want them to see. You should familiarize yourself, of course, with the settings on your favorite social platform so that you only share with those people that you want them to see your content. Talk to your parents or trusted adult about what type of setting makes sense. So sharing can also be an incredible force of good. If done the right way, we are going to watch a video now, of course. I want you, in actual fact, to think about what is happening in the video. But overall of the video, all that which, of course, it emphasizes is just that if ever you are to share something so positive, it might trend beyond, of course, the borders, of which it will, in a way, pose as a positive influence across almost everyone. Same applies to when you share the negative things. They will as well trend until, of course, they reach the borders, of which, of course, it might depict that particular person being victimized or as if being irresponsible. So, there is this particular, of course, task which you need to consider. You need to understand that it is not okay to share with anyone without permission, of course. The things such as your home address and phone number. But it is okay, of course, to share your photos and music. But you will also, in a way, agree with me that it is not okay to share your email password with others. You can share news articles, of course, because those are what everyone has got access to. Dictionary definitions, of course, is there to assist you. Compliments about others are good for you to share. So, another thing that which you need to understand is that it is not okay for you to share your holiday days, because as and when you share such, you expose yourself to the praise, you expose yourself to the thieves, because they will as well put on the notification the day that which will be going on the holidays. And then once you go there, they will in a way be visiting your home to steal from it. Your school location is not good to share, because when you share it, you might be exposing yourself for the kidnappers or traffickers. Answers to the test, it is really not good to, in a way, share the answer to the test, because to some extent, it doesn't, in a way, put you well as mannered. Because having to share answers to the test, that which is ought to be written, is like already, in a way, you are exposing yourself for who you are, of which is ill mannered, and then you might be caught or being arrested for that. It is not okay, guys, to share an embarrassing photo with your friends, of course, sleeping. Try by all means to share that which you would like others to share of you. Your schoolwork, of course, is fair when you share it with your friends. The location of a restaurant, please, guys, do not share such, because you expose yourself to the praise. A nasty message about your teachers, do not, in a way, do not be mean to your teachers, because your teachers are the ones whom, of course, means the world to us, are the ones whom will take you to varsity, whom will take you to your career. So let us respect our teachers. It is not good to share your friends' homework, of course, because you know very much well that they have took time to write that. So you having to share it with the world, what does that trying to do? Or what are you trying to prove? Invitation to your party, of course, we know very much well that it is allowed for you to share an invitation to of your party to your friends, because they are one of your cycle, but it is not okay to share it with strangers. So we can prepare to fight against the oversharer by equipping ourselves with the information. When we know what we want the world to see and what we do not want, we can make informed decision about what we circulate online. We will play a true or false, of course, guys, that which I will be requiring you to be answering on the comment box. So if ever you think the statement is true, put your hands in the air or just write true. If ever you think is false, of course, you can put that hands that which points down, or you can just, in a way, say true or say false, of course, as it is. Let us now get to the play. So remember, I might not, in a way, see all of your comments, but I believe my colleagues will be, in a way, assisting me. So now, once it is on the internet, it stays there forever. Do you think like this statement depicts true about the internet or is false? If ever is true, please do say it's true. If ever is false, do say it's false. Once it's on the internet, it stays there like forever. Yeah, once you share it on the internet, there is no way that, of course, people will not redund it. There is what we call redundancy in the world of cloud computing. There is what we call cloning in the world of scientists. There is what we call copying in the world in general. So once it's on the internet, everyone has got access to it. You might think like we have deleted it, but believe you me, there are just some whom, of course, already have copied it. We recall very much well about a particular video of a little girl called Secrecy. It was like trending like forever. Same applies to the particular video of a very particular minister, whom of course it was on the internet and then it goes to be trend. So about 1.7 billion of people use the internet. Is it true or false? Yeah, very much correct. It is true, guys. Because according to the statistics of 2017, it's like over 1.37 billion were available online. So now we're in 2020. We do not even know how many of us are on the internet, but more than that number, of course, they are on the internet. This is absolutely true. So people like to become a meme and going viral. Is it true or false? So if ever you feel like it is true to become a meme, do raise it on the comment box. Same applies if ever you think like it is not very much true for one to become a meme. Meme is a laughing stock. If ever you want to become a laughing stock, do you feel like, of course, most people love that? Do you love to become a laughing stock? So I'll say it is false. Because no one likes to become a laughing stock. So sharing online can reveal our location. Is it true or false? So when you are sharing online, it can reveal our location. Is it true or false? It is very much true. Because oftentimes we be sharing while our location is on. Even if your location is not on, there are just some people whom are smart about the internet, whom can try by all means to trace or track, of course, where you are or where you have shared your message from. If I don't share it with parents, they won't see it. Is it true or false? Like, one has to, in a way, think this there. If ever I don't share it with my parents, they won't see it. This particular individual says that if ever he is to filter the audience for a particular post, will his or her parents be able to see it? No, they won't, because why? She or he have flagged the audience. So it is important for you to flag the audience to know exactly which one is it that you need to share with them, which one is not to share it with them. But as well, you need to be wise about the type of the content which you share on the internet so that it does not haunt you in future. So, congratulations, guys. We have just passed the first test. Now we are going to being strong. So, in this skill, of course, we are going to learn about being strong and then secure our secrets. When we are saying you must be strong, we are talking about the secrecy. So why? There is a hacker about and he can get hold of your personal information by guessing a weak password. So it is very much important for you yourself in a way to ensure that as and when you are online, you are secured. How do we mean when we are saying you are secured? Of course, let us just in a way take for example this example or exercise, which of course it depicts upon a few things. These are 3 types of passwords that which majority of us likes to set. Number 1, there is a 1 2, and then there is a hyphen or underscore R56. So what do you think is missing in the option number 1? There is also on option number 2, of which there is what we call PA 2 underscore WO underscore therefore D. So what is it that is missing yet again? Could you please comment on the comment box? Number 3, we are having H double underscore L and O. What do you think this word might be? So right now, therefore, let us reveal the first answer. The first answer, the term which of course, or the number which was missing, it was 4. You can see that it is easy for the hacker to guess your password if ever you have set your password as 1 2 3 4. These are just normal numbers. So even a kid is able to guess your numbers or your passwords, because 1 2 3 4 5, that's just so very much easy. You must avoid setting password like this one. But there are just some people who think like they're smart. They say like, no, when I've set my password as just being a password, no one will understand. The hackers already know these tricks. You do not have to set your password as password. Try to ensure that at least you do not, in a way, just put a wording in your password alone. You must try to feature symbols and numbers as well. So surely this number 2 is what we call password. And then lastly, there is what we call hello. It is also easier to guess. This hello, you can realize that it is hello written in a small caps. So all this exercise, we were all able to guess. There is no one whom, of course, struggle to guess them. You see why we are saying it is very much important for you, in a way, to set a strong password. So now you might be asking yourself the question as to what is this really what they regard as strong password. So, okay, the strong password, of course, it has to be between 8 to 12 characters. It must mix, of course, numbers and letters. It must have both uppercase and lowercase characters. And it must have special characters such as the stars, at, you know, those symbols, of course. Like I've told you, 8 to 12 characters. It must have mix of numbers and letters. It must have uppercases and lowercase, capital letters and small letters. It must have special characters, hashtags, stars, and add. So those are some of the things which, of course, you need to feature in your passwords. Great. So now you know what passwords to use and what password not to use. But what use password is, if you forgot it all the time. So we all know that you can't write a password down, or something or someone, of course, might try to trace it. So you must, in a way, try to develop your mind in such a way that you are able to recall the type of the password you have set. So yeah, as and when, of course, you will be educating your learners, you will need to put them in pairs. Wherefore, each, of course, one of your students has to have a particular alphabet or number. So from the slides we see, can you crack the code? So this code, of course, it shows that we're having E as in capital letter, T small letter, O small letter, I small letter, G small letter, T uppercase, S uppercase, I uppercase, B uppercase. And on the other side, you are having 8, of course, 5 1 0 positive 3 9, of course, 5, and so forth. So the way for you to recall this, you will realize that E will alternate to 8, and then T will alternate, of course, to that particular symbol. We call it magalo in my language. So 0 will alternate to positive, so forth like that. I will alternate to 5. So here is how it goes. Now, if ever, of course, you have set your passwords to be like this, well, you know very much well that when you write E, you put it as 3. And then when you write it I, you put it as that symbol. When you write S, you put it as 5. And when you write T, you put it as positive. When you write G, you put it as 9. When you write I, you put it as 1. When you write O, you put it as O. And when you write T, you put it as 7. While when you write B, you put it as 8. Do you think like it will ever be guessed? I doubt so. So this is how you must, in a way, try to set your passwords. So let's put our knowledge into practice to create unbreakable and then unbreakable and totally memorable password. So we will require to have a pen and paper to complete this task. But remember, you can also comment on the comment box, of which it shall be your pen and paper. Also to listen carefully and follow the instruction. The activity which I require you to do is that create a strong and memorable password by following this instruction on each slide. First thing first, you as a student or your student, of course, will need to write their password down with a pen or pencil and paper. Remind students that because no one but them should see their password, they should make one out for this activity so that you see that they are really up to it. They have understood what you have taught them. So number 1, think of a fun phrase or an event that you can remember. Because this is the first step, of course, that which you ought to take. It could be your family's favorite film, children's book, when and from what high school one of your friends may graduated from, etc. In this case, of course, you will realize that we have used my little brother, of course, whom is what we call Ethan, who was born in December. But should you come up with your own, you have to, in a way, try to be as smart as possible. So the activity which I'll require you to do is that create a strong password and memorable password by following the instruction. So you as a student, of course, you must think of a phrase that which, of course, it is fun and then it will be easier for you to recall. Write down these phrases. You have got only 30 seconds to complete the task. I'll be checking on the comment box. Someone is saying, is that for Magal? Of course, in as much as I'll be teaching you here, it is important for you to get to learn some of the language that which I speak. I'm a native speaker also, baby, and then I believe that my audience here are from various, of course, in a way, languages as well, or race, so to say. So number 1, as I've told you, you must think of a fun phrase or an event that you can remember. Number 2, you must use the first letter from some or all of the words in your phrase. For example, check here. We're having what we call the M, L, B, E, T, As I've told you, right, my little brother is Ethan, who was born in December. So you can see how I went about having to create the password. M, of course, of which stands for my, and then L, little, while B, brother. And then Ethan, you will realize that Ethan, I have studied it with capital letter E. And then was is just a small letter W, while B it is just small letter, and then in I had to write I, December, a capital letter D. So no one can guess this. You can see that it is between, of course, it is between 8 to 12 letters or characters. It is very much strong in such a way that it has got both uppercase and smaller case. It is not easy to guess, even though people know that my little brother is Ethan. All that they will try to guess it is my little brother's name, but they will not try to find it out that my little brother was born in December. Even if ever they are to know that, they will not know how to go about it. So this is just how you should go about having to write the strong password. You can still, in a way, be as much creative as possible. So you will see, you will realize that you can further, in a way, change those things that which we have said, as I've told you previously. M, of course, it just has to remain as M. L has to remain as L. Wherefore, B has to remain as B. But E right now, this time around, you can write it as 3. And then wherefore, I, you can write it as that particular symbol I've told you called Magal. So you see, you have to be creative about creating your password, but you must ensure that you recall them. So right now we'll have to, in a way, further ensure that we create it with both uppercases. Remember, previously I have showed you 3 ways to create, 2 ways to create. Right now, this is the 3rd way for you to go about playing about that particular phrase called my little brother is Ethan, who was born in December. So you can further, in a way, start by small letter M, uppercase L and B, 3 of which, of course, we know it stands for E, and then THAN, of which is the name of Ethan, WB, stuff related. So you just have to be creative about how to create your password. You will realize that now hackers do not have a way to guess your password unless you yourself, you give them access to guessing it. So can you remember your password? That is very much important. In order to know if whether this has worked, you have to check if we can remember our password. To help you remember, write your password down 2 more times on your piece of paper. So I will need, of course, 3 brave volunteers to come up, of course, and then write their passwords on the board or on the comment box. Now, of course, if ever amongst you have got or have made a 3 strong password, it will be upon us as the audience to guess to whom, of course, has written the strong password that which we cannot guess. So Chabiri Leo says that since hackers are also familiar with that, what will stop them from cracking that? That is very much important question, Chabiro. Of course, I think like you will forgive me if whether I did not pronounce your name very much well. So it is most important that you, in a way, create your password in such a way that you are the only one to recall. Yes, we know very much well that hackers are aware about every tricks that which people go about creating their passwords. For example, having to convert 3 into being E or E into being 3. Having to convert the likes of B into being 8, stuff related. But if ever it is only you whom, of course, you are to put together the weights, of course, or the events which you yourself, you know, you have attended and then they have stood out for you, you will be able to create, of course, stronger passwords, of course. But ensure that whatsoever passwords which you create, you do not share with anyone. Rather, you share it with yourself. My name is Hotazo, of course. My name being Hotazo, as and when I'll create the password, I should not in a way create any password that which is similar to my name, or that which, of course, will bring people closer to my name. For example, being Hotazo, it doesn't mean my password has to be Hotazo or stuff related, or I have to play about the words on my name. No. Rather, I go beside who I am and then go to something that which I have seen. For example, I can even just go to KFC and McDonald's. My name is Hotazo, but I can make my passwords about KFC and McDonald's. In that way, no one will be able to, in a way, to understand or to guess my name simply. I do not know if whether I have answered you, but I'm very much in a way. I'm very much appreciative of what you have shared. So we just need to ensure that we share the passwords which only us we can remember, and then we should not revolve around our personal details, because that is the most, of course, simple things that hackers will start to look from. So now we need to, of course, recall about few things here. If ever we should, in a way, do, please do respond by saying we should do. If whether we should not do as well, do respond by saying we should not on the comment box. Should we use a unique password for each of our important accounts? If ever we should do so, let us comment on the box. And then if ever we do not think is a good idea as well, let us comment on the box. So, but most definitely, you need to understand that it is very much important for us to create a password for everything or for every account we open. Because, you know, the good thing about creating different passwords for different accounts is that if ever one hacker manages to hack one account, they'll not be able to hack all of your accounts. You will still be safe from other accounts. So this is we ought to create passwords that which are different for every account we open. Number 2, should we use a personal information such as the name, address, phone number when we create the password? Can we say, of course, we should use it? We should not, in a way, try to create a password based on our personal details, because like I've told you, it is easier for one to guess. First thing first, they will try to check amongst, of course, your personal information, if whether you have not set information or your password beside that. So you must create a password that which no one will guess, but only yourself. So we don't have to. Let's educate, of course. Thank you very much. We don't have to. So right now, should we use a password that is easy to guess, like our nickname or favorite baseball team? For example, my nickname, people call me Exhortation. I will not, in a way, try to tamper to create a password that which, of course, has got exhortation or exo in it. You know why? It will be easier for people to guess. So we really need to create or do away with the mentality of creating passwords by all means necessary about something that which, of course, are close to our personal details. So this is definitely don't. Yeah, it is don't, Leslie, as well as you, Kate. I agree with you. It is don't. We don't have to. So should we use at least 8 characters when we are creating our passwords? Yeah, you are well noted, Matapelo. So should we now use at least 8 characters when we are creating, or some less? We have to. You have to create between 8 to 12. To some extent, they might as well exceed 12, as long as you are able to recall them. Awesome. So yeah, Lesedi Kate says we don't have to create the characters, that which of course are at least 8. But I think, like, of course, right now she disagree with her answer, because as and when you create any password that which is less than 8 characters, people are easy to guess, but the longer numbers are not easy to guess. Take for example how lotto numbers are difficult. Remember, lotto numbers are about 50, and then being 50 of them, you are only ought to bet 6 from that numbers. So you can see that the probabilities for you to win a lotto is not very much easier. So that's why they say we should at least try to create the passwords that, of course, exceed 8 characters. Well noted. Yeah, so are we allowed to share our password with people so that we don't forget them? Should we share or should we not? Should we do or should we don't? Matapolo says we should, of course, in a way, do share our password, of course, with the people whom, of course, so that we do not forget. What do others say? As for me, I do not agree with the decision, but yeah, let's look, we should not share with anyone. Like Kate says, we don't. Of course, we don't, guys. Having to share, no matter how much you trust them, it be your spouse, your parent, or whomever, don't share it with them. These guys, lately, they can kill you for that. There are most people who were killed because, of course, they had the wills, of course, that which they have shared with their partners, and they have shared the password with it, and then a person goes to, in a way, understand that no, I'm on Hotato's will. Therefore, what's the use of me having to keep him alive? Let me just, in a way, kill him so that I can benefit. Why? Because he had access to my save. In that way, we don't have to share such. There are just so many risks, which of course comes with it. No matter how much I can trust you, I don't have to share my password with you. Awesome. So should we log out from our accounts after we're, in a way, finished on a public computer? Should we do or should we don't? Of course, in a way, we should do. We must log out from the public computer. Just imagine Leslie being killed over a mere password because yeah, I have shared the password. Yes. Life, in a way, is a challenge on its own. So that's why it is necessary for us to go through online safety. In as much as in our homes we've got the security guards and then the security gates, it is also as well on the internet to have the security guards, of which, of course, most of these security guards, there has to be our minds. Should we take remember my password when we are using a public computer? For example, when you have logged in a public library, should you take remember my password so that next time when you log in, it will remember your password? I absolutely don't. We don't have to, right? Yeah, we don't have to take, man. So I'm glad we have just collected the sharp badge. Right now we'll be going for the being alert badge. So everyone knows that you never take candy from a stranger, right? In my language, but never eat from a stranger, never eat outside of your home, of course. So it is very much well for you to be alert, to not fall for fake. Because, hey, Renama Africa, we are so very much dangerous. So the same applies, of course, even online. It is so important for us to be able to know the difference between the real and the fake on the internet. Sometimes, of course, phishers might try to impersonate someone or something you know. This once happened to me, guys. Either way, before I can even be a tech savvy, someone once sent me email trying to hypnotize me, or how can I put it, trying to blackmail me. You know, can you imagine someone send you an email using your own email? You are not able to see who sent it. It is like yourself sending it to yourself. And then it's like whatsoever movement you are doing, either way, whatsoever movement you are doing, the guy is like, he is busy seeing you. Until I got to learn about there are people called fishers. So fishers as in fish, but it starts with PH, right? So phishing is defined as the attempt to obtain a sensitive information such as usernames, password, and credit card details, often for bad reasons, by disguising as a trustworthy entity in an electronic communication like your friends or your bank. It is a good reminder to be on the lookout and steer clear, of course, from anything that seems fish. Now seems fish as in fish, tin fish, of course. So fishers are good at what they do. They're getting better every day, and then, but with few tips, of course, we are able to defeat them. The possible dangers, which of course we can in a way be exposed to, is that fishers can gain access to our personal information by tricking us. Further, they can harm our devices with malware. And then once that happens, you must also ensure that everything which we have, all of your applications are updated. So maybe you have seen a post like this. It looks like it was spotted from a friend account, but it says something she will never say. This is an example of a link when you shouldn't click on it because it could take you to a site that misuses your personal information or download something harmful onto your computer. And then most of the things, for example, right, the likes of these guys, they are on what we call Share It. How many of you have got Share It? Share It has got so galore of what we call pop-ups. And then if ever, of course, you are not clueful to this, you might as well be tricked to click into those links, of which you end up exposing your details or personal information to strangers, which they will use it against you. And then eventually you lose money, or you just in a way being caught in the middle of nowhere because you have been hijacked or you have been kidnapped. So we just need to be very much serious when it comes to this. So it is good idea not to click onto the links unless you are 100% sure it is your friend. For example, if ever Leslie has sent me an email, I know very much well that Leslie has to come and inform me that, man, I have sent you a link. Please do click on it. But if ever he did not say to me that I have sent you a link, click on it, I should never in a way try to do so. So yeah, guys, right now, this looks like a normal site, but something is off. What is wrong with this site? Can we try in a way? When we look it closer, we see that the web address is completely wrong. If, of course, I entered my email and password to this phony site, then scammers or phishers could access my account. You will realize that these guys, in a way, they are appearing to be a Google, but they are not Google. They are Ripway. So it is important for you guys to look very much carefully into the links we click into. More especially, this happens more frequently to people who apply to study at universities. For example, when you just click UNISA, there are so many sites which, of course, they claims to be from UNISA, but they are not from UNISA. Check very carefully if whether this site is from UNISA. .ac.za. Therefore, you will be now sure that you have clicked into the right site. So anyone can fall prey to a phishing attack. That's why it is important that we stay alert. By using these guidelines, of course, we can avoid these bad guys. So right now, guys, we'll be playing a game, or I'll be asking you a question if whether this is a real or fake. Kindly just respond by real or fake, or any way that which, of course, alternate to what, of course, we'll be asking. Does the site, of course, in a way, include indicators of any trustworthy site like badges? These are what you need to understand. First thing first, you must take into consideration that does this site, of course, include the indicators of the trustworthy site like badges? Does this site, of course, URL match the URL we are talking about, domain name, match the name and title you are looking for? Like I've just told you, unisa.ac.za. Does the offer, of course, seems too good or too good to be true? But anything which seems too good to be true, balega, run away. Hey, chawa. So are there any pop-ups? Usually pop-ups in most of the things of the sites, such as share it, I have told you, is because you might be using the generic package, and then they're trying by all means to ensure that you get initiated and then opt for their premium package. So does the URL start with a HTTPS hypertext, of course, transfer protocol secured, or does it just not have a green padlock? If ever it doesn't start with this one, you must really ensure that the site you are visiting is trustworthy, or you understand what you are doing. Otherwise, you might as well expose yourself to scammers. But lately, all these scammers also use this thing. So all that you will have to look into is the content. Does this content match what I've been looking for? So lastly, is the person or the site asking you to reveal private information? If it does so, such as business account or your full names or stuff related, valid. So do you think you can avoid phishers? We are going to play a game, as I've told you. We'll put you into a groups, but there is no need for me to put you in a groups because we are on YouTube. So what you are just going to be telling me is whether it's a fake or true. So let us look very much carefully into this site. So is this fake or real? So subject, important membership information. So body, dear trainee, a big thank you for your membership with us, because you have been such an amazing member. We'd like to upgrade you to a premium at no cost. Is it true, or is it real or fake? So it doesn't appear to be fake, though at some point it can be fake. You know why? Because we have to check very much well. There is a green padlock there, but that does not really, in a way, guarantee it to be real. There are just some, of course, whom, of course, they will use that green padlock to just fool you. So another thing, is this one, of course, real or fake? Of course, this one we are going to say is real, because one thing for sure, yeah, I understand why you had to say is fake, let's say, from that previous one, because at some point, of course, if ever the L does not alternate to what you are looking for, therefore you might as well, in a way, conclude that this is fake. So right now here we are on this one. Is it real or fake? Of course, let's say I'll have to buy you some sweets. Hey, The URL, of course, and domain name matches the content, and there is security tag or padlock in the air, as well as the HTTP in the URL, of course, is secured. So, real or fake? Congratulations, Leslie. You have won an iPhone. Is it real or fake? We really need to read very much carefully into the fine prints, of course. Contradicts the headline because oftentimes the fine print has to go in hand with what, of course, the message depicts. It looks like it is a pop-up, which is usually suspicious, asking you to give away your contact details. So it is fake. So congratulations, you have won an iPhone. So you said you are saying it is real. Oh, awesome. It is fake. I agree with you there, as I've explained it to you. So, hello, my friend. I have won at the lottery. I want to share my good luck with you. I will give you a 1,000 US dollar, but first thing first, send me your banking details, full names, password, so that I can share it with you. Speak soon, my friend. Yours, friends, Gunmi Moneybags at Adiemi. Is this true or fake? Pure fake. The offer is too good to be true. You know very much well that this guy first thing first is not your friend. Already they call you by my friend. He says that he has won a lot. He doesn't know you. He's a stranger. He is already willing to share it with you. How convenient is that? Hey, you seem like a fun person to hang out with. Let's have fun together. Can you add me to your friends list? Remy. So, real or fake? This is a stranger. A person cannot just, in a way, say you seem to be a fun person. First thing first, look there. He doesn't have a profile picture. He is already requesting access to your personal information. Although it's not always easy to tell if something is 100%, but we advise you to ask some advice from others, parents, or any internet savvy about this kind of people. You don't have to accept any friend request. There are most of them who, of course, will try to lure you into their filthy content, of course. But this one, please, Valek. So your Facebook account has violated our policies to avoid your account being suspended. Kindly visit b.ly blah 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 blah. Fake or real? It is pure fake. Because Facebook, of course, it will not in a way be sending you a mere SMS, a random SMS saying that it has violated your thing. If ever you have violated anything, they will block you. And then once you log into your Facebook, that's when you will find the message. And you will have to speak to their support. Yeah, very much fake, Leslie. Very much fake, Leslie. So I'm glad that we have also collected the strong one and being alert and being sharp. We are now collecting the being kind. It's cool to be kind. Everyone has to be kind, guys. It is not really much good for you to be rude. Hey, have you heard the phrase that says treat people the very same way you would like to be treated? What do you think it means? This also applies online, guys. This means you should only post, comment, or forward something. If you wouldn't mind, of course, someone doing the same to you, just share anything that which, of course, you will feel very much confident when someone has posted it. So we're having whom we call the travel makers. Unfortunately, there are travel makers out there hurting feelings and being cruel to others. The worst thing about travel makers is that the bad vibe can spread very much fast. We know news, of course, that which has got bad vibes, they travel very much fast. By being cruel to others online, he can even turn them into travel makers too. So, what you need to do is that you need to avoid sharing things which, of course, you will not like others having to share about you. So can we just, in a way, talk? Raise your hands, of course, or just comment on the box if ever you have seen someone being nasty online. If ever, of course, someone you have seen being rude to you online or being rude to someone online, you can as well, in a way, comment on the box. But we have seen it severally. When you are to go to Black Twitter, guys, or Black Facebook, you will really see that people are really mean out there. So we really need to avoid making others to feel unwelcomed of stuff related. Ways to spread kindness online. There are easy things for you to share or to spread kindness online. It feels good to be kind, doesn't it? Of course, there are lots of opportunities to be kind, as I've told you. So, can we think of the real ways to spread positivity? Could you please, in a way, if list three things which you think they can spread positivity online? So you have so many opportunities to respond or post and comment. So why not being positive? Okay, so like in a way, let us just discuss some positive response to bullying online. What can you do if ever someone finds your friend's phone and send a really mean message about another student to bunch of people on her soccer team? What can you do, guys? Leadership Mangaliso here has commented to say likes, emojis, and stuff related. Of course, those are some of the things which can spread positivities. There are those love emojis, those likes, but there are also those angry emojis, and then you see surprised emojis. We just have to choose amongst those emojis, the ones whom, of course, we must use. So yeah, we must report it, Mangali. So it is very much important for us to report it. So someone is posting serious mean comments about one of the students in a class of your class block. So what can you do, guys? Still, we have to report it. You report it first to your seniors. If ever the case is not resolved, you must report it on that particular social media platform so that they can block them. So there are an online games that a bunch of your friends plays a lot. This one time, one player starts saying really nasty stuff about one of your friends who is playing, and they just won't stop. So what can you do? Of course, we have to, in a way, report it. At some point, we must as well try to communicate amongst each other, right? So that we can reach consensus. Yes, Lisa, we have to tell a teacher and report it. So, how can we be kind? First and first, we can, in a way, stop to spread the harmful or untrue messages by not passing them on to others. We have to block mean-spirited or inappropriate behaviors. We have to make an effort to provide support to those being bullied. Being an abstainer, of course, and encourage others to speak up. When you see someone being mean to others or person online, making them feel embarrassed or left out, making fun of them and disrespecting them, hating their feelings, you always have choice. First, you can choose to be abstainer instead of a bystander by helping the target. So, and remember, it is up to us together as an online community to keep the internet great. So, first and first, guys, do not pass on gossip. Like I've told you, let us block all these mean and appropriate behaviors. So we must support others. We must be abstinent. We must take responsibilities. In appropriation of behaviors, we are really against it. So we have just collected the one for being kind, we are left with one more badge of being brave. So lastly, being internet brave means when in doubt, you must talk it out. Just like when, of course, you are not well in a way treated, you must speak out. One lesson that applies to any and all encounters of the digital kind. When you come across something questionable, you should feel comfortable talking about it with trusted adult like a parent or teacher. So, the internet can be a confusing place, but the more you know, the more people on your sites, the more powerful you will be. It is brave and very appropriate thing to do to tell a trusted adult if you see anything online that makes you feel icky. So together we can defeat the bad guys. So how to be brave? Say something, talk it out, guys. Report it or block inappropriate content. Get a proof and don't be afraid. So when we are saying talk it out, we're really saying that you must ask for help when you are not sure what to do. If it is to help you or someone to heal from something hurtful or stop harm from happening, it is both smart and courageous. You have to be smart and courageous. That's what we call being brave. Talk it out, guys. Talk it out. Report it. Say something. So right now, let us just talk, guys, here. Okay. What do we do? You get a chat from someone with whom you are not familiar with, saying that, I saw you in math class today. You are cute. What is your address? I can come over to hang out. What will you do? This particular person you are not familiar with, she says or he says that, you are cute. What is your address? I can come over to hang out. Yeah, Lesedi, we must learn to be assertive indeed. We must put our things straight. So, like this person you do not know, you must really, in a way, report this particular guy to your elder because you are not sure what they will do to you. You might be exposing yourself to a rapist, to a kidnapper, to a murderer, stuff related. What do? You accidentally, of course, download a virus onto your computer. How can you respond to it? First thing first, when you have experienced this, you must ensure that you download antivirus. You update all of your application so that they get to be up to date. You see message that says everyone were people tomorrow, but don't tell late. What will you do? Most definitely. Remember, we are encouraging you to be brave. Go there and tell Letu that Letu, they're trying to exclude you from this thing. You must as well wear purple, man. So that Letu, in a way, tomorrow doesn't feel, in a way, side-lighted. What do? A student posts a group photo in a public account and you hate the way you look in it. Would you report that photo or not? How can you respond to it? My advice it will be that you must first have to talk it out to that particular person to say that, can you please take down that particular photo? Otherwise, if ever you do not do, I will, in a way, report you. So, or otherwise, can you just try to crop me? So those are some of the things which we encourage you to be brave about. Talk it out. Yeah, we have to tell educate. So like we are through. We are now brave, guys. There is no one braver than us. There is no one braver than us. I'm glad, in a way, we have collected almost 5 of them. So, right now, all that we have to be doing is that we need to understand that being an internet hero, one has to be smart, And then when we are saying being smart, we are not here to tell you what you should do or you should share, but we do in a way suggest that you must think before you share. Be mindful of what you share and with whom. Remember that anything you share online has got a potential to, in a way, to trend. Number two, we must be alert at all times. Of course, we just have to not fall for the fakes. We have to be strong, guys. We must secure our secrets as well as our passwords. Not everyone, of course, is at liberty to understand us. Number four, we have to be kind. It is cool, of course, to be kind. Lastly, we have to be brave. As and when you are brave, you will never fall prey of anything else, that which, of course, exposes you. So for you to learn more about what, of course, I've been taking you through, just go to Google and then search for safety.google. It will give you more about these lights, if ever you need these lights. Or call in a way, child line on 011-7281-347. Or otherwise, you may report cybercrime to 012-00031400. Or you may visit Web Rangers at .co.za. So, we are really done for today. And then I'm so very much grateful, guys, for your attendance. It really meant a lot. Lesedi, you are recognized. Leslie, you are recognized. Mangaliso, you are recognized. Matapelo, you are recognized. Whom else? Chabrilio, you are recognized. And many others whom haven't commented. So, like, guys, I'm so very much, in a way, appreciative of your time. Believe you me, I did not take it lightly. And then if ever there is any way that which, of course, you were not, in a way, comfortable with what I was saying, or I have said away in a manner that which, of course, it did not put you well, kindly forgive me. Remember, I'm just a mere person. I'm not, in a way, resistant to mistakes, but we are all here to assist each other to learn. So yeah, until we meet again on Friday or sometime. Take care, guys.